Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Jedi Academy. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host and part of the RSG crew. Glad to have you guys here. Hope everybody's having a good morning wherever you're at. If you're new to the Jedi Academy and wondering what this is, it's where we just hang out with you guys for the next hour, hour and a half, and what am I talking about? 2 hours. We usually go to 12. I'm getting my times mixed up. But this is a straight Q&A show about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and what we've done is brought the best and the brightest of YouTubers and game changers together to answer all your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions, and we sprinkle in a little bit of brain damage from the RSG crew, that being me and Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. And I'll introduce everybody here in a second. So the way it works, if you have a question, throw that question into the chat. Make sure you put question in front of your statement, because if you don't, we're going to miss it. The way we scoop up questions, it just helps us identify, since chat will fly by the seat of its pants. So help us to help you, help us to get your question in. If you don't put question in front of there, I don't want to hear any complaining. You have been warned. That being said, real quick on any of these content creators and ourselves, please, once you get done watching the Jedi Academy, first give us a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We do a lot of stuff like this with our live streaming. And if you'd like to know when we're doing that, please hit the subscribe button and you can get the notifications. And also check out our Patreon. We love our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see us continue putting out this kind of content and stuff, check out our Patreon. And that being said, do that for all these guys. They take the time out of their busy schedules to be here to answer your questions. So help them, grow and get a part of the community and help the community grow. All that being said, let's introduce everybody. The person that's going to be monitoring chat today and scooping up questions and asking questions is going to be Dr. Finn Medicine Woman.
I am not playing Anthem today because I am collecting questions.
That's right. And then I'll say, Dr. Finn, question, and he'll read a question. And that's just how it's going to go. And let's just introduce our amazing panel of people that we have every Saturday here on the council. So let's just start going through it. We've got from across the pond, representing the other side of the world, Mr. Mike Hunt.
Good afternoon.
Glad to have you here, my friend, as always.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We also have, representing the United States military and the Army specifically, we've got King Felix with us.
Good morning, everyone.
Howdy, howdy. Also joining us, this man needs no introduction. You know him. Scissor Man Warriors here.
What's happening, y'all?
And last but not least, I think he's AFK, but we will get to him when he gets back. He needed a couple minutes, probably get some coffee, get the old brain matter moving around. The one and only good old Maurice is here as well. All right, so go ahead and get your questions in. We are monitoring chat. We are scooping those up. Dr. Finn's on top of it. So go ahead and get those in there. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions, and I'm just going to get the panel started by talking about The Road Ahead. It came out this week. A lot of really, really, really good stuff in there. I'm just going to throw it to the panel and be anything anybody wants to talk about in there. I was very pleased with a lot of the stuff that they added in there. I gave it an A+ post. We really dug into it and looked at all the stuff, and I really liked a lot of the changes, especially the quality of life changes and stuff. I mean, there's some stuff still up in the air, but we'll see what they do with it. But is there anything anybody wants here on the panel to talk about first that stood out to them?
Well, I like the fact they're introducing 2 new characters, and they're doing multiple reworks, 3 reworks, so that's 5 droids that'll be either introduced or reworked, and that's pretty solid for a month. Normally, 3 characters is about all we can handle. So, but the reworks are easy peasy because you either have them or you don't. If you do, great, and if not, don't worry. But I'm glad to see that they'll become faction viable, hopefully, after all this happens. Normally, when this happens, they're pretty faction viable. Sometimes they only become good enough for, raids and things like that. In Arena, they're kind of subpar. But hopefully we get General Grievous on the same level as Emperor Palpatine and Yoda, so that way there is some, Arena viability. But like I said, we'll see. Also, what's not announced is something people should be interested, because what's not announced is what always intrigues me. What they put out there is always about 1/3 of their projects, and then they kind of leave it blank. They did leave some hints and clues in there that they're doing more stuff, other things, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, I think ships is going to have aspects given to it, and with now General Grievous's rework officially being confirmed, I think it's pretty safe to say that there's a good chance his malevolence will come into the game. But, it still remains to be seen. And then they dropped, the HK-47 hints at the very end of that. So pretty confident, 99.9% sure HK-47 is getting a rework. Maybe not this month, but, soon. And then, of course, that would probably, lead to either Darth Malak or Darth Reven, Hero's Journey or Hero's Fall or whatever you want to call it. I think there's just a lot that's going to happen that wasn't listed, and it's kind of fun now to see what is planned, to see, what falls in these categories that they didn't mention that we've been thinking about it was coming in that might actually now come in because this is the right time.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting, if you haven't read it, the Grievous rework, they're reworking a couple of the droids. BT's getting one, and me and Finn both were like, okay, did it really need one? But okay, cool. But we are getting the B1, which kind of hinted at being like a zombie kind of thing. So that'll be interesting to see. And of course, finally, the droidicas are coming in. Thank the maker. We've only been asking for that forever. So it'll be interesting to see there. I mean, for newer players, they're going to have to farm them, but all players are going to have to farm the new ones, so it's going to be a faction. We'll have to see how it plays out. Is it going to be worth the investment? That kind of thing. One thing that they mentioned Palpatine's ship and the different places it might be in for farming and things of that nature. It just says Cantina holotables. Didn't say specifically, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes there. We had some of the quality of life changes. Question for the panel: I was really impressed that they didn't stick to conformity, and they went against the grain by not doing Sith Month and going with the droids. They weren't constrained by something they had kind of been created the last past 2 years to do a Sith Month. Is everybody cool with that, or were you expecting a Sith Month?
Well, the month's not over.
Ah.
You know what I mean? So they could be throwing all these droids at us as a resource drain for the end of the month when the big kahuna comes in with like a Darth Malak or Darth Reven or something of that nature. I don't know. It's nice. I'm not a big fan of the Sith, so this is nice to see something different, so.
Right. Anything else?
I agree with them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think, this month, 2 years ago turned into Sith 6 months, and then they had to counter that. And then last year they had Sith month, and again it spent like 8 months trying to counter that. So every time they do a Sith month, it turns into a Sith half year. So I think that for everybody who likes the other, 9 factions in the game or whatever, it would be kind of nice if we could get a different faction that actually had, a 4-month reign or 5-month reign. It would be kind of nice, to have that. Because even like CLS, when you add Chewie, it makes him arena viable. But even then, it doesn't really have. I mean, you'll see him in the top 20, but it's not like 18 of the top 20 are that, like Reven is or like Trai was.
All right. Anybody else on the panel about the Road Ahead map?
Yeah, I liked how they said they were going to do a little bit more of how they release the characters. It's not just going to only be marquee.
No.
And then they dropped just a little tidbit of the Emperor's command shuttle, like it was no big deal. It had like a 1 sentence. In there, it wasn't even a big deal because everything was focused on Grievous. But adding more ships is always great, and adding different ways to unlock characters. I know we've said before, like a little mini 1-person raid would be cool to unlock certain characters and to earn shards by doing different things other than just marquee, and then going straight to like a 20 node. is I like the mixing it up and adding a different way to unlock these characters other than the marquee, blast that we've had over the past year and a half, or whatever it's been.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if they want to put a marquee here and there. You're right. But if they introduce other characters too that are not marquee, like you just mentioned, I think that's pretty cool. Did anybody find something in the Road Ahead map that they didn't like?
The raid simming until we know what the rewards are.
Yeah, that was the one that we kind of were debating.
Squad loadouts. Finally, we can access them without having to go into a game, like into a battle.
That's a nice one. Was there anything good on Marines that you didn't like in there? Finn just mentioned the raid simming.
Oh well, it's. I'm holding, I guess, my opinion. I guess I got to see what it is. Like if
Sure.
the raid simming's cool. We'll have to see how they release this Palpatine ship that, like Felix said, they just kind of put like a little brief sentence in there about. We'll have to see how big of a pain in the butt that is to get. If it's even good, if it's worth the farm, So we'll see. I guess anything that minimizes my time spent in game nowadays is a plus. So I don't see any too many negatives about it at this point.
There's a lot of stuff's up in the air, but there was really nothing that they posted that I saw that I was like, no. Well, it's just happened in the past, so that's why I gave us this high mark. I'm like, this is some really good stuff. I mean, we had the changes to the buffs and debuffs where you can shrink them down with the new feature. You mentioned the squad loadout. That's really nice. So there's some real good stuff in there. All right, so if you have questions about that or anything else, then go ahead and get those in there. We're going to go ahead and start with questions, and we'll start with our man, Scissor Man Warrior. Finn, you got a question for Scissor Man Warrior?
Sure. You want me to ask them? Because I'm putting them in stream questions for you, too.
No, I'd like you to ask them, Finn.
Okay. Question for Warrior from What Else 73. When facing a Treya team with a Reven team, what is the kill order?
You can do it different ways, and a lot of people will argue with my kill order, so this is my opinion, but I always go after Treya first. And the reason is Treya has a lot going for her, including being able to really one-shot fools. So with her, triple lightsaber and being able to isolate, and a lot of times with Reven things are happening so fast that the taunt goes up and then comes off, and then she isolates the wrong character you don't want isolated. And so I just mark her immediately and go after her. And yes, even if people build her extremely tanky and tenacious or whatever they want to kind of keep you from killing her, I still kill her. The key to killing a Treya like that is to have a Yoda that isn't quite as fast, but is just pure offense, like 6,500 to 7,000 offense, because he'll get right through that. Especially when Bastila throws her buffs onto Yoda, and then Yoda gets called to assist. He'll be hitting for 60 to 80k right then and there. So, even if it's built that way, you should be able to chew through her within the first round of turns. If not the second round of turns. And then after she falls, I normally kill, if I can get to him, Thrawn, because Thrawn is, he'll inevitably fracture Yoda. And then you have no damage dealers, basically, that can do any damage to a Treya team like that. So you're stuck with, using Reven to try to hit Treya down, which is difficult to do. So Thrawn, definitely. And this is where the debate comes in. Some people say, well, just target and kill Thrawn, and then you can come over to Treya. And more than likely, Treya will isolate your General Kenobi. But not everyone runs General Kenobi, and that doesn't always happen that way. So I just prefer getting rid of Treya and then Thrawn. And the reason is those two characters have the best 2 debuffs in the game, Isolate and Fracture. Those are the best 2 debuffs in the game. Get rid of those 2 characters. After that, it is of my preference to go ahead and kill Sion, because I don't want him to go Superman mode, or you just have to kill him like 3 or 4 times. So I just finish him off, killing him. By this time, my team is so primed. Everybody's hitting for 30 to 50k plus. Yoda's hitting for 80k plus. So I can actually chew through him pretty quick. And then if there's a dark side vassal, I kill her or whoever else is left. And then I actually kill Darth Nihilus last. And Darth Nihilus is saved to last because the way I prevent his cooldown reduction from being effective is I jump with Yoda to collect buffs, do an AoE, and then I spread the buffs, which spreads a foresight. So the first time he tries to do the cooldown increase, it's like deflected by everybody, and he doesn't get that cooldown reduction. And so it takes him a solid 4 to 6 turns to have that, which gives me more than enough time to kill the other 4. And then by that time Marked comes around, I mark him. Normally he's like stunned, marked, and I just pummel him. So that's how I personally do it, and it takes me less than 2 minutes every time to do it that way, casually as I'm taking my time to do it. But definitely make sure that you get the foresight up before their Darth Nihilus, or he's going to cooldown increase and throw a wrench and everything I just said.
Very nice. I agree. I always go after Trai as well. So, all right. Next question to King Felix, if you would, Dr. Finn.
All right. So next question is from, and I apologize as I'm probably going to butcher the way that you
I
say
do it
your
all the
first
time.
Name. Joao Calvin Conti. So the question is, what team should I do first? The Original Republic dot team or the Solo Prepare team?
Which one's the Original Republic dot team?
Canderous, Zalbar, Mission. It's
Okay,
the Canderous lead team.
I was thinking Original Republic is in like the Wedge team.
Sorry. It says OR. I said Original. That's my fault. It's Old Republic. Old Republic.
I would do the dot team with Canderous and Mission and Karth, just because I think it's going to be a little bit better for Grand Arena and Territory Wars. But if you're slow on the farming of some of those characters, you could switch. I just like the idea of having Mission paired with Zalbar in that team. And if somebody goes in there and underestimates it, they're going to prime it up, and then maybe it'll hold for about 10 or 12 battles like we've been seeing on some of these Grand Arenas. That's my say-so.
All right. Next question to Mike.
Okay. So for Mike, question from Dojasun. Question, will B2 rework jeopardize his usability and functionality outside of the Separatist droid factions? Like currently he gets use with Rex in Territory War.
That's a bit of a glass half empty question. I would say,
Or is
yes,
it?
it does. Yes, it does. But you're going to have a much better team with the droids. So Grievous B2, Magna Guard, or a combination of that and the 2 new ones coming in. Was it Droidica and B1?
Mm-hmm.
I think that all of a sudden droids are going to have a couple of good leads and be far more viable. We're going to start to have to stop and think, oh, hang on, how do I take this droid lot on? Which is something we haven't had to do in a number of years. I'm up. Sorry, I'm upbeat. I'm looking forward to the fact. I geared up my Grievous ages ago. I mean, even York's got the shards for a 7-star Grievous now, and been waiting on that rework since what was it first hinted at in kind of like last October. So no, I've been looking forward to it. I don't. You just switch someone else into the Rex squad in place of B2. Maybe some fac will get a bit of a boost being a Separatist. Ooh.
Oh man. All right, next question to good old Maurice.
All right. Good old Maurice, question from the Taco King. Question, I have Jedi starred with Reven and Ewoks, but not starred being farmed. Where does my gear go to?
So he's got the Reven team complete character-wise, but he does not have the Ewok team complete.
Correct.
Is that what he's asking?
Yeah, he's still farming the Ewoks. He has the stars on the Reven, so where should he put his gear?
I guess a lot depends on how you're doing in arena. Like if you're still getting top 10, now what am I talking about? You probably do Reven. Get your Reven team ready. That's
like, what are you talking about?
yeah. I was get your Reven ready. Get your Reven team ready. Arena is a coin flip now. Like on my chart, everyone has Reven. I fell into the 40s yesterday. Everyone has Reven now.
Yeah.
So arena is going to be mirror matches all day long, but it will help you tremendously in Grand Arena. It will help your guild out and TW. Now you guys can maybe, if you wanted to, can start fielding a full zone of Reven, depending on how big your guild is, maybe 2 full zones of Reven. That will help you guys tremendously there. The Ewoks, they were talking in the chat just a few minutes ago. You will need them probably gear 11, and you probably will need, more than likely, you're probably going to have that Zedon Chirpa if you don't have, big time mods. So if you do the Ewoks, that's really going to slow you down in terms of, progression in every other area of the game. If you get that 5-star, 6-star C3PO, that'll be serviceable for you. You won't be able to use it in the raids, but that'll get you going. Reven, do Reven. Maybe that's bad advice. I don't know if somebody.
No, I would have given the same advice. Farm your Ewoks. Worry about the gear later, because because the 3PO event's not coming back for a while. Get your Jedi Reven team going, right? Get the gear on them and everything. Keep farming your stars and your Ewoks, and then once you get Reven done, you go back and focus on gear on the Ewoks, and you should have time, a couple months at least, to get both teams right.
Yeah.
Perfectly makes sense. All right, next question back up top to Scissorman Warrior. What do you got for him, Dr. Finn?
All right, question for Warrior from Max Dog. In the current ship meta, is it more important to have a faster MILF or faster capital ship versus your opponent?
Really, it comes down to a faster capital ship, probably, if you had to choose, but I don't think either one matter as much as people think it does. With capital ship, obviously getting to do, strikes first matter, but most people now, and at least in the top, are still running the Houndstooth, and even if you go first, you can't kill their Houndstooth right away. I mean, it still takes a couple rounds of whacking at it to actually kill it. So, but I mean, it's nice to be obviously always the first one to go. So capital ship would be, in my opinion, important. I got my capital ship as fast as it can possibly be, so I can go first most of the time, unless it's a tie and then it's a coin flip. As far as, the MILF ship, it as long as it's developed out pretty good, even if they go first, it won't really matter much because their MILF will put on the buff to protect itself, and then you'll put yours on. Or if you're faster, you'll put your buff on, and then they'll put their buff on. So it's just mirrored either way. It's not a huge deal. The ship that's actually become MVP, and we've talked about it last week, but I've obviously told everybody to get this ship like 10 months ago. So hopefully people that watch my videos took the time to do it, is Cassian. Cassian's a one done. He's anti Millennium Falcon. He's a complete anti Millennium Falcon because he comes in off of reinforcement, and you can target Millennium Falcon immediately because he clears all the buffs. That buff is totally dispellable. So you clear that buff, and then he has a call to assist where if you call another rebel ship like your Millennium Falcon, it's a guaranteed crit, and so they both crit. And so he clears all the protection, and then the Millennium Falcon just destroys it. And when the Millennium Falcon goes, sometimes there's another assist. So every once in a while, when you have a really, really, really tough Millennium Falcon, you'll get a triple or quadruple shot on that call. And yeah, it's devastating to whatever ship it is. But I killed their Millennium Falcon every time, guaranteed, with that call to assist. And then once their Millennium Falcon's dead, I mean, you still have your Houndstooth and your Millennium Falcon. It's not even possible for them to win, even if they want to. So, it just gives you that guaranteed win and a fast win, which Millennium Falcon made things fast already. But I know a lot of people going into that whole like double tank combo stuff to try to slow up the battles, which is dreadful. But they still go relatively fast. But Cassian's Ewing is the MVP now. I know a lot of people want to run Biston in the front three for the extra turn meter. I don't see a value in that at all. I really don't. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. All right, next question to Felix that is king.
Okay. So Felix, question from Bragon Ruby. Best guess for a first quarter surprise.
Oh.
Oh. You know, I don't think it's a surprise anymore for HK47, so I won't say that because I think the meatbag quote was pretty obvious. I'm going to go with a new territory battle, and it's going to be Geonosis. But who would the reward be? Oh, that's a good question.
Midriff Padme.
Midriff Padme, yeah, it could be, and I'm totally okay with that. And then that could segue kind of into a Grand Republic. I don't even know if they need a rework. The Jedi are just fine right now.
Well, clones.
Maybe clones. Yeah, clones could.
Add some more clones.
Clone Wars Lives is seems to be the focus. So I'm gonna go with the new territory battle and midriff Padme as the reward.
That'd be cool. Now
you just get to look at her. That's
it. Well, that'll be Dr. Finn. But what do we think of L337 being the monthly reward? Because that completely threw a lot of people off. Is it going to be for a solo
it's just for the droids.
Yeah, or for the droids.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people, I'm farming her anyway, but a lot of people are like, do I need a farmer? Are they going to do something with solo at the end of the month or March? Is it just for droids? Are they misdirecting us? You know, there's a lot of things are going on. Are you still going to need the Old Republic characters and this is just a distraction? What's going on? What's happening?
You have to farm everything and have it all at the same time.
I am.
I'm farming your only option.
I am farming the hell of it, everything. I'm almost done with Young Lando and Vander Chewie. L3, I'm going, I'm farming her every day. And I'm still farming Canderous. So I'm like, I'll use a refresh on Cantina so I can get a little bit of both on each going. So, yeah. So much stuff. It's too much. It's too much. All right, let's go across the pond to the tea drinker himself, Mike, and give him a question there, Dr. Finn.
Okay. For Mike, question from Elliot Worsfold. Do we think Palpatine's shuttle will unlock at 80 shards, 145 shards? What do you think?
I hadn't until that question. Good question. 80 shards, yeah. It'll unlock at 4-star, and then we'll have to farm it. Yeah. Gives the opportunity for the world's first 7-star shuttle, doesn't it? That would be my guess. Yeah. No, we're not going to get a whole 7-star ship, courtesy of one. Yeah. It's gonna be a farm, and a long-term farm. It's going to kind of replace Vader from day one, where you only got Vader shards in certain things, and it will be like that. Is my opinion.
It sounds like there's going to be a few nodes that you can get it, right? So do you think the unlock is going to be 4-star though, or 5-star?
4-star.
4-star. Okay.
4-star. Yeah, it's probably going to be OP. It'll be a viable 4-star. It'll be like a few other ships that we've had. So we'll all get to try it, and then we'll all be like, got to get that to max. Need that in everywhere. And of course, it'll be a required platoon ship as well. Yeah. 4-star. 4-star on a race.
All right. Next question to Gom.
All right. Good old Maurice. Question from What Else 73. Do you think if there wasn't a leak and Grievous was reworked and released in November, that February would have still been Sith month?
Well, I mean, like I said, there's no guarantee it's not going to be Sith month. Just kind of surprised at the end of the month. here's your Darth Reven, here's your Darth Malak. Just because, I think if they were anticipating to release anything to do with these new Old Republic, that sounds dumb, the newer marquee characters, if they plan anything to do with that, that's still on the table and probably on schedule, right? Because that's going to be the big money maker. So that one's probably unaffected. We just don't know what that is yet. I think the droid rework, I'm a little. It's great. I'm really excited about it. It's something that's long overdue, and really brings a lot of viability to a lot of characters that anyone that's played for year and a half, 2 years plus. I mean, majority of us have some of these characters. B2 used to be meta. You needed the droids for the tank raid when it first came out. That was the P2 team. These teams have been sitting here. So this is nice. I'm a little worried it is going to be a distraction. Like those of you guys that have like Gear 8, Gear 9, Magna Guards, B2s, Grievous are going to, see the reworks. They're going to be great reworks. HK-47 is a character that if you're a newer player, you really have no business having. He's kind of worthless, right? So, I mean, everyone's going to panic and get all these characters up to keep up with the Joneses in Arena, and then the big kahuna is going to drop at the end of the month, the Sith. I'd kind of view the droid rework as kind of a resource drain. That's kind of what I'm anticipating. If that even answers the question, I'm not sure, but I think whatever they have planned for the Sith I think it's unaffected, whether or not we got the droids this month or not. So
great.
I think you're totally right on that. The resource drain, they love to do that because then they capture both the whales again who thought they were ready but really aren't, and they also capture the rest of the people who were just never going to be ready. And so they get the freak farm from everybody. But as far as droids, I do think they're going to be meta viable. In fact, I think there's going to be enough to be able to do 2 solid teams for like territory wars, Grand Arena, things like that. Because remember, HK was mentioned in there, so I'm sure he's going to get his rework before the end of the month. So you're talking about HK-47 lead. That's going to be insane because he's already a good lead for droids, and then you're going to have General Grievous, who should be a lead, and so you're going to have 6. You'll have 6 droids that will go from inviability to viability or non-existence to existence, and that's 6, which is more than a team. Plus every other droid right now. It's amazing, like R2D2, BB-8, L3. There's just a ton that way. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the droids just to see. But if it's anything like the last droid one, it's going to probably come down to speed, which will be sad a little bit.
All right.
Get the Jawa engineers ready. Oh boy.
And that means get your Hans ready for a counter.
Yeah. Taking it back to 2016. Here we go.
Taking this back to old school.
Get that Poggle lead and that Poe in there too. You'd be running them
that Poggle lead. Yes, sir.
Oh God.
Well, it's such a big forum post too. Everybody keeps forgetting about that little meat bag pun at the end too, right?
Look who it is, everybody. It's the Stoner Jedi. Yay.
What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late, too.
You better have a good reason. Why are you late?
The baby.
My apprentice, what about him? Answer quickly!
Oh, follow up. Oh. No, he's been a little stuffy the last couple of days.
Oh.
I'm getting it too, so.
The dark side's taking over. All right. Now that we got Zalo here, let's give him a question, Finn.
Sure. So question from Contingent 33. When working on my alts with the new 5-pillar system, I've been taking characters to 7-star before moving on to the next character. Is that the correct way to move through it?
Well, that's how I did it from starting. I mean, I haven't gotten a chance to watch Warrior's pillar system videos, and I apologize for that too, Warrior. But that was my focus early on in the roster. Getting the characters 7 stars and trying to stretch them out as much as I could. So I mean, you don't want to give yourself too much fluff and be starring up the wrong characters. But you sound like you're off to a good start, and just stay focused on a select few characters at a time and stay on target.
Let's go to the source, Scissorman Warrior. For the pillar system, is it how you kind of have, for those that haven't seen the video, Is that how you kind of direct them, or do you have a different route?
So the old one was all black and white. It was like, take them to 7 stars, take them to gear 8 or 9, blah, 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 do this, do that. I'm a lot less prescriptive now. I expanded from 4 to 5 pillars because there's just that many more characters in the game. And the pillars address every single character through, like, today in the game. So even, Darkside Bash, still farmable, all that. So it's really, really up to date. But for myself, I'm running through my own pillar system to kind of prove its efficiency to everybody. And there are lots of little caveats I'm learning as I do that kind of I am very flexible and realize other people doing it have to be flexible. So I took all my characters to 5 stars. Now I can get Emperor Palpatine 5 stars. I can get Thrawn 5 stars. I'm not really stressed about getting them 7 stars yet because I just hit ships. And now ships are a source of revenue. And I have a sense of urgency with ships the way I have with regular arena. Not everyone does, but I do. And I'm actually like in 32nd place in my arena right now, and ships over there with like 1-star ships because it's a brand new leaderboard. So I am, I've currently paused my cantinas in Pillar 1 and 2 for something that's not in the pillar system at all, which is my ship stuff. And the reason is the ship stuff isn't in the pillar system is because you get ship currency, and that can be spent exclusively on the characters and their ships. So you don't really need to have ships exclusively laid out in the system because these ships you can just focus on what you want. But, Geo Spy is one of my goals, and I could buy him out of there, but I want to buy him faster so I unlock him so I can use him. And he's a freaking 4-star unlock. I didn't know that. That's something I learned. And so I realized I'm going to have to cantina him to at least unlock for now, and then I can finish him off in the ship's currency, the fleet currency. But I've paused those things. So like everyone else in my leaderboard, their cantina, the characters like Ezra and Hera are going 6-star and 7-star, and I'm still stuck at 5, and I'm underpowered. But I'm still hanging in the top 100, so I'm okay with that. So I'm allowing myself to slip a little in arena, a little bit, because I was top 50 for a few days, and allow for some of that development to fall a little behind for ships because it will put me where I need to be with ships. So it's a balancing act, and you've really got to decide what's most important in this moment. And you've got to be able to shuffle back and forth between certain characters and stuff. And sometimes unlocking a character is important enough to pause. For example, I could have already had a 7-star Zeb from Galactic War currency, and I could be collecting stuff. But I paused that for 4 days to unlock one of the scoundrels bounty hunters out of the store that Zeb's in. And the reason for that is because there was another level of credit heist that required another character. It was like 2 characters, 3 characters, 4 characters. They require more and more characters. And it was like, do I want more credits forever, or do I want to get 2 more days closer to doing raids? Well, raids will be there forever, so I'm going to go ahead and get the credit heist started a little bit sooner. It was just a decision I made. So you got to really balance it. And I'm at the point now where I've got like 3 rows of favorites, which is really difficult, and you're getting really spread thin, but it's because of ships, and a lot of it is temporary. I'm doing it to unlock and to get up to like gear 6 or 7, and then I'm going to pause for a while and go back and finish. So you've got to be very fluid, and you do want to finish the majority of everything in Pillar 1 before you're really moving on, but you've got to also know sometimes you have to kind of dip into Pillar 2 or things in ships that aren't on the pillar system temporarily. And then you can go back to those targets and finish them off. So you just got to be able to be fluid.
All right. Next question, back to the top 2, Scissorman Warrior.
Okay. So Warrior question from Deadpool Kyle. How do you think the Separatist rework coming will affect the meta? I just got my Reven and plan on gearing, but will Grievous and reworks be a hard counter to him?
I don't think they're going to be a hard counter. I think they're going to be a soft counter, and I think it'll work. But I do think it'll be like kind of like CLS in the sense that, you can use a CLS team to kill Reven very effectively, but you'll also drop farther than even the Revens drop. So it's not as defensible as the Reven is. So I think the droids are going to be similar in that nature. They're going to have kind of I think they're going to have a blend between like a CLS team power with a Night Sister annoyance combined. So I think they're actually going to be pretty phenomenal. And until people know how, to kill them and things like that, I think they will be as viable as some of these other teams. But once the kill order becomes clear and strategies become clear, I think they're going to be more like a CLS where you can climb with them, but if you leave them on defense, then you'll probably fall further than others. But for people that we're talking that are in like top 200, top 500, which is the majority of the players, it'll be a very, very viable option. Because people forget that, like, and not everybody's in the top 20. It's like the majority of players are in the top 200 or top 100. And because of that, there's a lot of the viability that occurs outside. For example, Bastila Lead is a really great meta team that's meta, but it doesn't seem meta because we're not in the top 200, but the majority of people are, and that's what they're seeing. And it's annoying, and they go around that because they, don't want to spend 4 minutes chewing through bonus protection. So when we give suggestions, we should always be thinking about the vast majority of people that are actually listening, even though a lot of people listening are in the top 20 as well.
All right. Next question to King Felix.
All right. So Felix, question from Varkesh. With the Galactic Chase being possibly a ship-only method of release, what release rate of ships would you want to see new ships, and when will a raid or new mode arrive?
Well, release rate, I think, needs to severely get, brought up because you see the same ships almost through the top 500 in Ships Arena. It's all, you got Han's Millennium Falcon. Everyone's got the Geos, or they're running the Hound's Tooth. So I'd like to see a whole lot more ships so that we can at least get some sort of diversity. Like in regular arena now, you have, 4 teams that you can really climb to number 1 with. And like you might drop more with a certain team, but the disparity between how many ships we have and how many characters we have is slightly annoying. I know we've been praying for a ships raid for a long time. I don't see one happening soon. The obvious one would be the Death Star raid. And, maybe you'd have a ground, section with, on Endor or something along those lines. Maybe you have a throne room thing with Palpatine. But I wouldn't hold your breath for that because ships hasn't gotten as much love as I think that we all thought they would get. So I'm not sure when a raid's actually going to be coming. I hope soon. I think a new raid would be appropriate this time because people are starting to rack up 20 million damage on the Sith raid in one go. But they haven't given any indication that raid is anytime soon.
All right, next question to the British Pound himself, Mike.
All right, so Mike, question from Kareem. I just unlocked Jedi Training Rey, and my Resistance Trooper is only 5-star gear 9. Who is the best replacement for a Resistance Trooper on a heroic Sith team?
Ooh. Resistance Trooper is a kind of unique. You're gonna, obviously you've got Trooper on a farm. Difficult question to answer because we don't know who the candidates are. R2 visas, 2 that spring to mind. R2 could already be in there though. In fact, will be, won't. Oh yeah. Need more info. I don't know who would.
Let's start with the assumption here, if you want, that it's Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, and R2. Let's assume that those 3 are part of the team. So, what would you, if you don't have Resistance Trooper, who would you want for the 5th and the 4th and the 5th spots?
4th and I would want regular Rey, Molly-whopping Rey, in there, which then puts us for one final.
he's almost irreplaceable. Like he's just
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Possibly a tank, possibly put in what's her name? Holdo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, typically, right, so Scavenger Ray would replace Resistance Trooper as kind of the damage dealer, and the best one would be if you had both of them. But if you're having to replace Resistance Trooper, I mean, you're kind of down to that same group of fifths that end up being used there, which is basically Visas, Hermit Yoda, possibly Barris, possibly Holdo. But I would say probably Visas or Hermit Yoda would be your better bet because they provide a little bit more to your team than Holdo and definitely more than Barris.
I'm a big fan of Visa Smar, especially if you have a Zeta to throw on her. She keeps that team alive for quite a long time, and she's amazing in Territory Wars and Grand Arena.
Yeah, I use her without the Zeta, and she's great.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have Resistance Trooper, he more than likely does not have Visa Smar. Maybe
yeah,
I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Probably
exactly.
not.
But also, there's another thing I was going to say is, if he had 3PO, you could just do Confuse, and you wouldn't have to put any of the dispels on him.
Yeah.
You'd already have the dispel from JTR, but again, that's a little probably out of reach right now.
You'll get your 2% for your guild, but you're probably not going to get much more. You're really kind of capping your damage without resistance, because Resistance Trooper goes so often. If you got a lot of crit chance on him, he provides so many exposes for your team. I mean, on my P1 runs, Resistance Trooper is my highest damage dealer. He out damages both of the Rays, so he's kind of kind of instrumental.
I'm in a similar position to him. I mean, I'm farming Resistance Troopers nodes on my alt account, who's just unlocked JTR, so I don't have a Resistance Trooper option. But to be honest, I'm in a fortunate position where I'm piggybacking on the heroic Siths. I can't remember the last time I had a go, but yeah, I will have a look. I'll try some things out and tell you if I find anything that works.
Yeah, a trooper in that team is really like one of those must-have pieces on that team for sure.
All right. Next question to South Kakalaki's finest, good old Maurice.
All right. So good old Maurice. Question from Metallica. Do you believe this year we will get Dark Side Anakin from the end of Episode 3?
Ooh. Perhaps, but you'd think they'd have to almost go down a whole route of a whole like theme of characters from that time period, right? Like I don't think he would be the only one. I don't know. And would he be a marquee?
I bet he would.
I mean, could they potentially do the first, villain's journey for that character, maybe?
Could you do a journey, though, if they already have Vader in game? Like, you have the end game.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah.
That was always the biggest problem with Anakin being suggested for the downfall, right? Because he's already in the game with his end game.
Yeah, I mean, they could always do another Vader. We have, 75 Han Solos in the game. They could do a second Vader, or I guess a third if you count, the original Anakin. I don't know. They really don't. Well, they could. I mean, they just released Chewbacca, C-3PO, all these original trilogy characters. They could kind of just eventually get to the second batch of movies and release a bunch of characters that aren't, included in the game from that era. So that's definitely a possibility.
Grandmaster Windu.
Go apeshit Vader from the one of the newer films where he goes into the ship at the end. Yeah.
Slaughtering fools Vader. All right, next we'll go to 420 Xylo Takedown.
All right, question from What Else 73. Did anyone finally solve Crumb's most recent beehives and handkerchiefs clue?
Yeah, they confirmed it was Grievous, right? I was watching Shattered Order last night too, and that they had said that they confirmed it already on the forums. Apparently, I don't read the forums as much as the average forum reader, but yeah.
Yep. There you go. So yes.
Okay, so that was quick. Back to the top to Salesman Warrior.
All right. Question from Warrior from Eric Estrella. First, love your new video on the 5-pillar system. Really helpful. Was wondering, is there a pillar system pertaining to the Zeta order you should go when you're Zeta-ing characters?
Yes, that video to be announced. I've got 9 more videos that I'm working on for this specific series that are going to go into depth on different arena teams and kind of when you'll be unlocking those teams, so the priorities of those teams for arena, so the evolution of your arena team, so to speak. There'll be suggestions, obviously, on Zetas. There'll be a Zeta video specific on every character that has a Zeta that's unlocked in this program, and kind of the viability order, or the most important order of the viability. So, but just as a default rule of thumb, when you're free to play, you don't have to worry about Zetas for a while, because you won't even unlock it for a while. And then once you do, it used to be when Zetas first came out, and everyone on the panel will be nodding their head up and down because they'll agree with me. It used to be unique Zetas were the most important. The leadership ones weren't that impressive. The uniques were amazing, and the unique allowed you to use that character in any team you wanted. And so it gave you freedom to take that character and go wherever, such as, CLS is unique or JTR is unique, whatever. It was all about taking a great character and making a team that wasn't as good better. That is not the case anymore. The most important Zeta on almost every team in existence now is the leadership Zeta, because they have made some phenomenal leadership Zetas. One example is Asajj Ventress Lead. That's a great character, and that whole entire team is insanely fast and offensive. I mean, anytime they drop below 100% health, they get 50% turn meter. They can remove 20% turn meter from the enemy when they hit. They get 30% speed, or 30 speed. They get 30, percent more offense. It's like insane boosts to the entire team. So one Zeta affects 5 characters. So now it's more about picking the right leadership Zetas. And then when you get a specific legendary or hero's journey tune unlocked, all of the Zetas pretty much on all of those characters are worth it, but prioritizing it over a period of time. The leadership Zeta, such as like Emperor Palpatine Zeta, will probably be the first Zeta I go with. Maybe Bastila will be the first I go with on my alt account. I don't know. Again, it remains to be seen because I have to allow for the development out, but I will have an approximate Zeta priority list so you can see what you're unlocking, what priorities in there should you be looking at.
All right. Next question to King Felix.
Okay. So question from, you know what? You can answer the question from good old Maurice. So good old Maurice has a question. It's if L3 ends up on your droid team and Zalbar with Karth, what tank will go with the Kira team?
So, scoundrel tank. What's left? Stormtrooper Han? Hold on. What did scoundrel tanks yet?
You're right. It's like Stormtrooper Han is like the only one left.
Like what the hell, Green Maurice? Come on.
It's Stormtrooper Han. It is. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm looking to see these damn tanks.
You got Stormtrooper Han and Clone Wars Chewie and Gamorrean Guard. It's pretty much
yeah.
it.
All right, then I'm going. You know what? I'm going with Clone Wars Chewie. Just so that you lose your next Grand Arena, there, good old Maurice.
Thank you, King Felix.
Break out the Stormtrooper Han, man.
Yeah.
Break them out.
Yeah, that would feed a lot of turn meter to that team and get that team going too on offense.
Until he dies because he's too squishy.
No more questions for me. I apologize.
You're a very bad man, good old Maurice.
Hey, it's a legit question.
I know. I'm just
Yeah, that he already knows the answer to.
Right. It's
not really. I wasn't being a punk.
Well, okay, you have 3 choices: Stormtrooper Han, Clone Wars Chewbacca, and Gamorrean Guard. Which one do you think you're going to go with?
I couldn't make a decision, and you answered it for me. Now you made my decision for me.
I don't know though. Gamorrean guard, bro.
Gamorrean guard may end up on that Karth team because he puts dots on his basic.
Yeah, and he gets
2000
bonus
would.
protection too. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
And exposes.
Yep.
and exposed. Yeah. Oh
And
man.
exposed.
And
All right,
he'll
so
go
there you
one
go.
time.
Gamorrean guard.
Once.
No, Gamorrean guard with Karth.
Oh
Because
yeah.
then mission
Oh
would be
yeah.
like a truck with all those exposes and stuff. It'd be
Don't
crazy.
put ideas in my head. I got plenty to gear up already. I don't need to be favoriting Gamorrean.
Let's leave Mr. Piggy out of
In
this.
3 versus 3, I do a Darth Vader lead with Canderous Ordo and Gamorrean Guard. I'll get 9 dots on someone in the first round, and then it's just a one-shot hit and kill. Yeah, so Darth Vader leads.
Favorited. Fine.
Canderous Ordo, Canderous Ordo does dozens of dots, man. He's insane. And then, of course, Gamorrean
Yeah.
Guard tank.
All right. Next question to.
Let it be known that Warrior has promoted Gamorrean guard, so they don't just blame me every time I
Right.
talk about
That's,
Gamorrean.
next question to the father of swear children, Mike Hunt.
Okay, question from Contingent 33. With the role in the movie, what do you see the function of the Emperor's shuttle being, since we never saw it attack? Is it going to be like C-3PO and Hermit Yoda?
I was kind of thinking it would be similar to Kylo's command shuttle, that sort of thing. It's gonna be a support ship that's gonna have a crazy amount of support abilities, so debuffs, maybe some sort of locking debuff as well, something like that. I would expect it to be more attack minded rather than cleansing and whatnots. So I would, sort of something akin to an Empire Cassian. That's where I think it'll come in, something like that.
All right.
And another thing too, like if you think like the ship and the character in general, like the rebels called to assist a lot, right? So what if it potentially, mirrors the character Palpatine and damages the ships for assisting? Like it kind of cripples the Han Solo meta right now.
Well, I'm thinking that it will have 2 tags, won't it? Because you say an Empire, but it'll also be Sith.
Yeah, yeah, Sith ship too.
So I mean, another potential could be that it will be only the second ship in game that will have an AOE days. Can you imagine if you've got that days and the B? Yeah, I mean, then you've got Akbar cleansing if there's 3 or what is it 3 or more, or is it on the full debuff that it cleanses them all? I think it allowed. I can't remember offhand.
I think it's the full.
So yeah, there will be that kind of thing, unless it will be one that cannot be cleansed. Maybe that's the counter there. But I hadn't thought of that. Sith shuttle combined with B-28 bomber.
All right. Next question will go to indecisive good old Maurice.
Present.
Question from Doja-san. Is it absolutely necessary Reven has the fastest mod set possible? Or with Territory War, what is the order you prioritize mods for tunes?
Reven should definitely get your fastest set. If in Arena, if you're just dozens of speed behind other players, it's likely you're not going to catch up. So, if you want to start making your team a little tankier, then that's not a bad play either. I would definitely put your fastest set on Reven. I have my second fastest set on Nest, but a lot of people are running these slower, more tenacious Nests now. So I guess that's kind of per roster. Reven, Nest, BB-8 should have one of your fastest sets. We'll see how good these droids get reworked. If there's a lot of useful droids, especially under Rey, you might be able to take a little speed off him because you'll be getting the turn meter boost. R2 should be fast. Hermit Yoda should definitely be one of your fastest characters. It depends on how deep your roster is. If if you still use like Zeta Finn and Poe should probably be one of your faster characters. If you use First Order Officer on your First Order team, he's probably up there. If not, Kylo Ren Masked should probably be up there in terms of fastest. Bosk is another one that you want really, really fast. The faster a lot of these characters are, the more effective the whole team is.
Jawa Engineer.
Yeah, yes, Jerry. There we go.
How dare you, sir?
Hey, you wait about a month, Jawa Engineer. You're gonna start seeing those 300 plus Jawa Engineers floating around. It's gonna happen. Rex is not a bad idea, especially if you have a smaller roster. A faster Rex will get you a lot done. Same with Vader for the lower GPs and the lower guilds and stuff. A fast Vader will be pretty effective for you. I'm sure there's a lot I'm missing. Just a lot of them are more advanced characters, I guess. But I don't know. Is there any like glaring ones I'm missing?
No, I think you covered a good part of it. Good job, good old Maurice. Next question to the father of the Sith Apprentice, Xylo Takedown.
All right. Question from What Else 73. How many new ships do you think we'll be getting in the next 3 months and or this year?
I'll go with the overall, like this year. I would like to see maybe like another 12, including the Palpatine command shuttle, right? Like, so just one for each year, or one for each month this year, and not counting maybe some more capital ships around that, because we already have enough to make 4 full teams, and I think the apprentice agrees over here. So
That's right, my apprentice. Now first took your father.
he starts laughing.
That's right. Enjoy his pain. That's right, my apprentice. Kill him! Alright, next question, back up top to the Mattress King, Superman Warrior.
All right. Question from Warrior from Planet No Aught. It's actually from Planet No Aught, because there's actually a from in the name. So question for Warrior. I want 2 resistance teams for territory wars. Finn, Poe, Resistance Trooper, Haldo, and Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, R2, and Pilot. So I can repeat those kind of groups of 4 for you, Warrior. I'm thinking Scavenger Rey for Finn, but I don't know if Rose has enough DPS for Finn against First Order. Thoughts?
You definitely are going to want to use Scavenger Rey. And something about Scavenger Rey when you're going against First Order you need to note is her double and triple mollywop abilities. By the way, side note, I got to hang out with him, Urban Blaster, this week. It was super fun when I was up in Denver. So
what is that fool doing?
I know. What the heck are you talking about? He and I got to hang out in Denver, and even Urzatron met up with us and everything. So that was super fun. Had a few fans meet up with us, and we chatted. It was super fun. But anyway, so shout out to Urban Blaster. When you use them against some of the smaller characters, smaller meaning like lower health and protection, so less healthy characters on those teams, such as Fu, First Order Officer, you can use her double and triple mollywop very effectively. But when it comes to like Kylo Ren Unmasked, it almost is to your detriment to use the double and triple hit after protection's gone, because it ends up healing him a lot of times more than the damage that she can do. And so it's just one of those things where that's going to be a tough team. So be careful what you're going against. And if you can not use that specific team to go against Kylo Ren Unmasked, you'd be better off. It's very difficult if they modded their Kylo Ren Unmasked right to even use the exposed team correctly, especially with the normal Kylo Ren in there really fast, because he's just using his AoE every freaking second and they're just speeding those teams up. But she works effectively against everyone on the Kylo Ren Unmasked team except for Kylo Ren Unmasked himself, if he's modded correctly. Her single hit, her basic, is almost better to actually do damage that sticks.
All right. Next question to His Majesty King Felix III.
Okay. King Felix. Question from Deadpool Kyle. Do you think CG is doing what they did with the Chewie event to cloak something dark side Old Republic. It kind of feels that way, and I feel like they're trying to catch us with our pants down.
Definitely cloak and dagger things going on. Don't be surprised if General Grievous is all a smokescreen for something much better, and it's going to take all of your Zetas and all of your Carbantes and leave you wanting something different. I don't know if it'll be specifically dark side, but who knows? Could be. And then you're going to be having absolutely no Zetas and no gear to put on if it's Darth Malak, or even Darth Reven. So, womp womp.
All right, next question to British Bulldog Mike Hunt.
Okay. Mike, question from Decepticons. I know Reven has a need for speed, but putting my best speed mod breaks up too many sets from other tunes. Should I just do it or try farming more mods? I have him plus 109, so it still feels too slow.
Okay, right. How do I answer this? Yes, you do it. Yes, you farm mods. My main account is kind of is always hitting the mod cap now, and I'm cherry picking, and I'm constant. I don't think I'm in a solo boat here saying that I'm constantly looking for the next secondary speeds to turn and where they're going to go and where I'm going to increase speed in my squads and so on. But my Reven's still got my best set, and that happened immediately and then readjusted. I think to answer your question, it will be down to, can you live with where you get to at the moment with your current mods on the Reven? If you can, leave it there and work on improving those stats as and when you hit them. Otherwise, switch it over, because the Reven will. I mean, he's everywhere at the moment, isn't he?
All right. Next question to Mr. Macarena himself, good old Maurice.
Okay. So question from Darth Unlucky. Does Fallen Bastila have a place with a Reven team since she also has an Old Republic tag?
I haven't tried Darkside Bastila with him, but I know long ago in the era of the test accounts, we did try all of the Old Republic non-Jedi characters with Reven, and just about every situation, another Jedi was always better. Like we were kind of excited at the idea of maybe T3 under Reven. It was just every non-Jedi Old Republic character we tried was really underwhelming. I haven't tried Bastila. You know, I don't really see her being that effective in Arena right now, because we're back to it's going to be Reven versus Reven all the way up. And then, you know, the opposing Revens always start with all tenacity up, so Basila's not going to land her debuff when it's her turn, not going to land the shocks, not going to land the stuns. The stun might be irresistible, that I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the kit, but I think she's always going to be best suited for a Sith team, whether it be Palpatine or Trai or potentially a future Sith lead that we don't know of yet. So she's a very good character, very, very easy to gear. So she's definitely worth the investment. Her unique actually works under any lead. So I mean, if you're running any team and it's in your leader, like Karth, for instance, Palpatine is one. You know, some of the squishier leaders, she will provide that defense and tenacity bonus to your leader. So it's she's a character worth investing in just because she's kind of universal. So stick with your Jedi for Reven for now.
All right. Next question to Baby Daddy Xylo Takedown.
Question from Guns Derek. Should I farm droids or keep going with the OG Republic?
You said OG Republic? Like the old Republic?
Yes.
depends on your roster, what you want to do. But I mean, Reven in the Old Republic is amazing. Myself personally, I'm working on the Karth Missions Albar team, Canderous. They're all a little heavy to gear. Karth's pretty easy. I just got them to gear 11 in the last couple of days. I mean, we still haven't even seen the kits either, too, for the Grievous rework, and not to discredit them already, and they haven't been released, but yeah, at this point, I would assume that everyone in the community, on average, has them like Gear 7, Gear 8, like all the characters from top to bottom, B2, Magna Guard, Grievous. Then you're gonna have to gear 2 more characters around that potentially to make the team, with Droidica and B1. So, you can't go wrong with hoarding your resources right now either, too. You can look at doing that potentially. I'm doing that myself too as well. But the Old Republic team's really fun too. It's valuable on defense for Grand Arena and Territory Wars, so you get a lot of value out of that. And again, it's a fun team to play with too. It's fun, me myself personally being a earlier player, when the dots mechanics weren't really valuable, or I have a Vader lead for when we did the Rancor early on, and it's fun to actually have a dot mechanic team that actually works. So you can't go wrong with working on the Old Republic team. I would go with that and be the safest bet.
All right, back to the top to Colorado Rocky Mountain High Warrior.
Okay, so question from Michael H19. What's the Reven mirror match kill order?
I was actually just reading this on Facebook just a second ago while I was scrolling through, and there's 2 different kind of options, and it depends on kind of what you're going against. Some people prefer having General Kenobi in there as kind of a really annoying deterrent, and then others prefer just having another Yoda in there, Hermit Yoda, to speed the team up and constantly create regenerative health and protection. Both are valid, both work very well, and both are annoying. In fact, if you are on a leaderboard that's a little bit newer and people don't have like super god mods, the Yoda one is better than the General Kenobi one, for sure. But if you're on the highest end where everybody has phenomenal mods, then either one works the same. But they have kill orders that are slightly different. So with Reven versus Reven, you want to mark Yoda, but pause. First, you should look at all of their health and protection on all of the opponent's characters, just to kind of get yourself a bearing as to who has less health and protection. Because if the character that has less health and protection is their Reven, then you want to mark him first. But if it's Yoda, you want to mark him first. And statistically speaking, when people mod their crap correctly, they will have modded their Yoda for massive damage and not really much health and protection. And so he will be the easiest to kill at 40 to 50,000 health and protection. And so you'll want to mark and kill him. The reason is you're going to want to expend the revive that Reven brings around. You got to get through that revive first. Then, if you're doing against General Kenobi, it will have caused his taunt to trigger, but you'll still have marked on the Yoda, even though Yoda died once. And so because he's marked still, and General Kenobi's taunting, you might as well go ahead and kill Yoda a second time. What that then does is force Jolee to revive Yoda, and when he revives Yoda, he'll have used his revive. And now the Reven revive is used, the Jolee revive is used, and the taunt will have fallen off at this point on General Kenobi. Then, after you've killed Yoda, they have no basic damage dealer, and you can then go after their Jolee, who will not trigger a taunt because you can't critically hit him, and you can just pummel him. Keys to this: save your mass attack from your General Kenobi, and use the call to assist special buff that Reven provides every possible time you can, and use Reven and Grandmaster Yoda to pass it between the two of them. Constantly use that, because they can't be countered when they're using that assist call. So make sure you're using those assists, because what happens is if they counter, they just regenerate health and protection, and it's a nightmare. And that's a mess as well. And so then go ahead and kill their Jolee. And once Jolee is dead, And because their Grandmaster Yoda's already dead, their Jolie's dead, it's just easy peasy. Kill out their Reven, and then you can kill their General Kenobi, their Bastila, whatever. However you want to do the last three is fine. There's no wrong way. Reven probably next, and then whoever. If they have Hermit Yoda, it's a problem because you're going to have a way harder time killing Jolie, because you have a character that's constantly reviving and healing constantly healing the health protection, and it's just really hard with the defense up on how high the defense is on Jolie. He's got a higher defense than most tanks. So what happens with this is you kill Yoda normally if it's the lowest health and protection, which also takes out their damage dealer, and then he'll be revived. The problem is if their team's built right, their team is going to go all again before you get to go again, because their team will be now faster than your team because of Hermit Yoda. And so when you try to go hit Yoda again to kill him a second time, you won't be able to, because Marked will have fallen off. And you'll have to try to, kill him. But by this time, he'll have foresight and bonus protection back, and it's a nightmare. So what I do with that team when there's no General Kenobi is I kill Yoda completely, and then by the time I get another turn, I just go straight for Jolie and just take Jolie out. Remembering to use mass attack from General Kenobi, if you have it, it's really helpful. And also remembering to use the call to assist special buff from Reven, passing it back and forth between Reven and that. Also, Jolie has a call to assist that won't be countered when you call Yoda. So make sure you use Jolie to call his call to assist always Yoda. Always make sure you target Bastila's special buffs to your Yoda, so that way your Yoda's always doing insane. Also, it's actually at the highest end pretty easy to kill that team, because you'll be able to jump, collect buffs, and not worry about a taunt kicking out. And because of Hermit Yoda, you'll get stealth for your own Yoda, which means your Yoda won't be countered, which really helps in killing Jolie faster, because otherwise Jolie, a lot of times will retaliate because of Bastila's unique giving him the retaliation capability. And so that's basically how I look at those two types of teams. Those are the primary two types of teams. And if there's some other variant off of that, it's easier to beat than the two I just mentioned.
Outstanding. All right, next question to His Majesty King Felix.
All right. So King Felix, question from Darth Skywalker. Now that the droids are getting their rework, when will the clones get their rework this year?
His Majesty decrees that it shall happen a fortnight after the Clone Wars TV show returns. Is that
he has spoken.
Kingly enough?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
2 moons past the Wolf of the Moon, something or other about kings. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll come back after, or the clones will get their due attention after the TV show comes back, which I am forgetting the date which it arrives. If anyone could remind me if they have a date for it. Yeah, I think it's the summer for the Clone Wars lives.
I don't remember.
I don't know the date.
Okay. But yeah, I would say shortly after the Clone Wars comes back, or maybe they'll wait until the Clone Wars finale type show to bring in the Clone Wars reworks. I'm really hoping they do. I'm a big fan of clones. I have them all at Gear 11 Plus and the Cody Zeta, which is only good during these territory war bonuses. So, I hope they do. I want to see some extra clones. I think we can get some extra clone ships. I think they need the LAATV shuttle as well. If you can find somebody to pilot it. But yes, my guess is after the Clone Wars show comes back.
Dilly.
Is it on Tomno? All right, next question to someone who's English but not royal, Mr. Mike Hunt.
All right, a question from Decepticons for Mike. Best way to mod GK Mr. Beardy in a Reven team, what kind of speed does he need? And P.S., I want to say a big thank you to Warrior for the pillar system I'm using on my alt account. Top one, nice one.
Long ponder there. I suppose really the best loadout for him would be tons of protection, tons of tenacity, and speed. In some ways, you depends on your lineup. If you're running a Bastilla in there, then you probably don't want him that fast because they're gonna proc his taunt, and you're just gonna leave him taunting for as long as possible. So, lots of protection, lots of tenacity, and depending on your lineup, speed or no speed.
All right. Next question to Moonshiner, go to old Maurice.
All right. Question from Darth Hideous. Just did my first heroic Sith run with Jedi Reven team last night. Got 8.5 million in phase 2. Is this an okay score, and what's the reasonable potential of the team?
For your first run, for sure. I mean, that's great for your first try at it. I think the highest I've gotten is maybe right in between 11 and 12. I mean, I've seen screenshots of, I think it was Arnold that put out a video with like 19 million or so. I mean, it really depends. Really got to get, I guess, the right mods. It's not the same as Arena. Like your Grand or your Arena team, you kind of want to put the offense sets on your characters. But if in the raid environment, if you can get enough crit chance on your characters, crit damage is not terrible. So it's a little flexible there in mods. I don't know. I don't really know what the cap is. I know I can auto it for about 7. It's where you can auto it for about 7 million. So that's generally what I do. I just put it auto and put it in my pocket. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask for this, I guess. But 8 million in your first run is awesome, man. I don't think I got 8 million for probably the 4th or 5th try that I tried it. So you're definitely on the right track.
All right. Next question for Not the Mama, Xylo Takedown.
All right. Question from Robert. What is the Zeta order for Reven?
Oh, that's easy. The lead, direct focus, then hero. Yeah, the direct focus. You need direct focus to beat mirror matches for sure. If you don't have direct focus, it's killer. The leader speaks for itself in the mile-long text, and then heroes the shared statistics, correct?
So, and then also like the immunity to ability block and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you want all 3 for sure, no matter what, and that's the perfect order. Anyone else? Yay, nay.
So let it be written. So let it be done. All right. Back to the top to running with Scissorman Warrior.
Okay. So for Warrior, this is from Kidioda Matsu. And said, question for Warrior. I had a roster review in March. Thanks. My dark side needs a lot of work currently gearing Reven team. Need 1 more star for Wicket. Should I gear Ewoks for C-3PO or the Night Sisters first?
Well, man, they both have a ton of viability. C-3PO can help you solo stuff and make things life easy again, and he's usable in so many teams. And with Night Sisters, they same thing, do a ton of damage in raids and are really great for Grand Arena Territory Wars. Honestly, I would probably do Night Sisters if you already have a 7-star Wicket and are getting Zetas from that. Then I would probably do Night Sisters first and then Ewoks last. Part of the reason for that is I just feel like Night Sisters have usability in literally every aspect of the game. Grand Arena, 3v3, 5v5, Territory Wars, Territory Battles, just the works, everything. Sith raids especially, just all sorts of crazy stuff. And we know that C-3PO, is going to kind of, so to speak, have a nerf eventually at some point because of the amount of, damage capability. So I would stick with Night Sisters, finishing those off, and then I would go and do your Ewoks and get those guys geared up afterwards.
All right. Next question to King Felix the Cat.
Okay. Question from Darth Skywalker. Would you rather have the current clones reworked or have 5 new clones added, assuming
funny.
that they are mutually exclusive?
Yeah, I just answered this in chat. I want 5 new clones personally, because the clones that we already have some decent parts of their kit. I mean, an extra ability or unique here or there would be really helpful, but I doubt they're gonna. They don't make any money off of doing reworks. We already have these tunes. You might get some money off of people quick farming gear and things of that nature, but their bread and butter is new tunes. And I think there's a lot of clones that they can go into the expanded, into the books and the comics and whatnot, and they'd make a lot more money. And I'm guessing that it would be new clones if they did a clone rework as a whole. But you'd probably see a little bit of buff here and there for some of the clones. Maybe Echo and Fives would get a little bit more love. I don't think they're going to give Rex any love because he's pretty good still to this day, and that's saying something because he's kind of survived through most of these metas. But my guess is 5 new clones will be coming, or probably not 5, but 3 or 4 new clones will be coming if they do the rework.
They could undo the Echo nerf.
Mm.
That would change them as well.
What is that? When they stopped they reduced his healing, or is that what they did to Echo? I don't remember.
Yeah. He was going too many times for their liking.
Not enough times for my liking.
No, they nerfed him too much.
All right.
I'll kind of ask 2 follow-up questions here, and I mean, whoever wants can kind of take it. But the first one, I know Grande has mentioned this before, that the clones right now, if you give them a Zeta or something like that, especially someone like Rex, it could make the clones way too OP. Like right now, their team works pretty well together. We haven't found a super use for them, but they could become very OP. So that was one of the concerns he had. So what do you think about that from a rework or a new character perspective? And I'll start that one.
It's valid. That's a valid concern because, I mean, they're really close to being amazing. They have they have one of the best synergies of all the factions in the game. They all kind of work the same way. And if you just boost up a couple of them, it could get out of hand. But I'm okay with that.
Surely they should at least match the Imperial troopers, shouldn't they?
Well, they should be better than the Imperial troopers. If you've read enough of the books, the clones were far superior. And the fact that they're going into a Separatist rework and they're going to make these B1 battle droids probably be able to beat the clones all by themselves, that's not really, keeping to the history of Star Wars, if you will.
Yeah, it's probably too fine a balancing act at the moment, but watch this space, eh? They should become more viable. Something akin to the Imperial troopers in the usage. I mean, where do you use clones in light side territory battles? But your Imperials go all the way through.
Well, you can get through with clones. Even in Phase 6, I had to do it when it first came out, but they have to be very well modded. You really need to put in, you take Rex out of that team and put in an OG Han or even a Princess Leia to get through the Phase 6 and territory battles. But it can be done, but they're not even close to the, the power that the Imperial troopers have in this game, which is kind of a travesty.
All right.
Oh, and then just really quick, sorry. The second thing is, do you think the fact that they added a clone war or a clone trooper bonus to territory war means that maybe they're just happy with the way that the troopers are right now?
My guess is that they're doing the bonus because they don't have the time or inclination to do a full rework, and they're trying to give the clones that little bit of love.
Okay. Next question for Second Breakfast, Mike Hunt.
All right. And I think this is our last question before the fun questions here. Darth Unlucky question. What are the odds that we could get some Sith Empire characters? What are the other Sith Empire characters besides Palpatine and Vader?
What do you mean?
Like a combination of Sith
well, the
and
Old Republic.
Empire?
The Old Republic is they fought the Sith Empire. The Sith
Yeah,
Empire
it's not the
there's that
same.
many
I think he
durations.
means this empire.
Yeah.
Okay, so not a combination of
Vitiate,
Sith and
Malgus,
Empire.
that kind of
Talking
stuff.
about like the Sith Empire as just
Yeah, the Sith Empire.
What?
The actual Sith
Vader
Empire.
Vader Palpatine.
No.
No, he's talking about the old empire, Mike.
Okay.
The OG
Emperor
Empire.
Vitiate's
in
empire.
the before time.
The long
I'm
ago.
gonna hold
And,
my
and
hands
the
up
Sith had
say,
an empire before they even fought the Jedi. They had taken over like a portion of the galaxy after the 100 refugees that were banished formed the new Sith.
Well, with everything they're saying about Old Republic, if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, Old Republic need their nemesis, don't they?
Oh yeah.
So the Magic 8 Ball says probably.
Do it.
That's a very indecisive Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they tend to be, don't they?
All right.
That's why you need a Magic Conch. Just saying.
All right. So that's all the normal questions you said, Finn?
Yep, that's it for the regular questions.
All right. So now the fun questions. Fire at them, whoever they are attended to, Finn, or whoever you want.
All right, so the first one is for you and me, Ranger.
Oh.
Question from Wargul 128. How many mirror matches with Reven have you timed out on so far?
2. The first one I ever did with Grande. Learning the team. And then another one where I was trying something different. I'm like, well, I'll never do that again. So...
And I have not used my Reven yet. He is now gear 11. He's 3 pieces away from gear 12. So once he gets to gear 12, then I'll switch my mod, and then I'll actually start using him. So
Okay.
So mine, I'll let you know soon how that works out.
Soon, TM.
Soon, team. I'll leave this for the panel, so whoever wants can attempt it. What else 73? In regards to the Emperor's new shuttle, can you say 5th Sith ship 5 times fast?
Absolutely no.
I cannot.
I think Mike should give it a try.
Oh man, yes.
We need to hear it in that British accent. Mike, give it a shot.
Oh, hang on. I was sorry. I heard you say it, and all I was thinking was, I know my daughter Sweary would love to have a crack at that.
Oh no, she would.
No, do not bring her in here. Do not let her say that.
Don't you dare, Mike.
No. She's out at work. So
She would intentionally mess
What have I got
up
to
just
say?
to drop F bombs.
5th Sith ship. I can't even try to say it fast,
ship.
just regular.
5th Sith ship. Oh wow.
And
Fast
5 times fast.
5th Sith ship. 5th Sith ship.
5th Sith ship. 5th Sith ship. Yeah.
5th Sith ship. 5th Sith
Fish and
ship.
chips.
Oh my.
Fish and chips.
Oh.
That is what
God's
it's
got
turning
a
into.
spasm.
Turning into
That's
fish and
nasty.
chips.
Oh.
We are calling it the fish and chips.
I
now.
should have just gone with fish and chips. Yeah, go for it. Fish and chips.
Oh my god, that was great.
Large battered haddock, please. And a pickled willy on the side.
And a little bit of peas, mushy peas.
All right. Next question from Eliel Salinas. Eliel Salinas. I think I'm saying that right. I'm hyped with Separatist rework. Going nuts, gearing like a madman. Does Grande keep being a big deal?
He's always a big deal, no matter what happens. That's science. You can't argue with that.
Right.
He sits at the pool all day, drinking, hanging out, playing the game, and then walks the dog occasionally and takes care of his kids. He's got a tough life.
It's right. Next question from Andrew Schumann. Question for Ranger.
Uh-oh.
When is the next Backseat Grand Arena stream?
Oh, my God.
That was so much fun.
Well, so the way we're going to do Grand Arena from now on is going to be we'll let the fans help with the defense, right? But offense, yeah, it'll be just the panel and me doing it. So because everybody enjoys it.
Rough.
Yeah, so we'll do that next time when that comes back up. I'm not sure when the next Green Arena is here. Probably the 10th, 11th.
Didn't you end up still winning that one, Ranger?
Yeah, I won. I got first. I usually get first or second.
Nice.
It's how it goes. whether it's 3v3 or 5v5.
Bump up your GP a little bit and come into the bracket, Ranger. Come on.
I already have. So
What you at?
I'm over 4 million, so 4,018,000, whatever.
I'm telling you, they're getting pretty rough.
What's your GP, Felix?
Just under 4.4.
Oh yeah, it's getting tough.
Oh.
it's
Yeah.
Bro, Felix, we should match up and we should try and face each other, bro.
If I knew, that's one thing they should find out. Like they need to, they know who you know. It's the government. Don't get me wrong. They need to pit all the friends against each other in the grand arena.
Well, that'd be fun as hell.
I know.
I want that so bad.
With the mods, man. I know how. I'll get with you. I'll message you after the show.
Well, the other thing is I don't remove mods before grand arena to get a better matchup. My GP is a lot of fluff, and I leave it nice and fluffy for everybody.
Oh, me just recently after this last 3v3, I stripped a bunch of fluffy mods, and then I've sold a couple of them to get some credits and clear up some space for mods. And then I heard the strategy is basically putting down 4-dot mods and 3-dot mods on certain lower tier characters, and then it kind of matches the algorithm a little bit better.
I don't think I have hardly any 4-dot mods left. all my characters are at level 85, gear 7 or higher, and they all have 6 5-dot mods on them.
Right. I'll go spend some energy and get some junk 3 and 4s, and then we'll get with each other, man.
Battle Royale.
That'd be great, dude.
All right. Finn?
Okay. Next question from Darth Skywalker. Which celebrity do you think plays Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Jake Lloyd.
Thinks or hopes?
I saw that in chat. My guess is Jake Lloyd.
I'm going to guess Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton?
Who are these people? I thought they said celebrities.
Do you not know who Will Wheaton is?
No.
What the?
Will Wheaton?
How do you
Will
not know
Wheaton?
who Will Wheaton is?
Mike, you know who Will Wheaton is? All the way to England. I don't know who Will Wheaton is. Okay.
All right, good, Maurice. What kind of life have you led up to this point?
How do you not know who Will Wheaton is?
You don't watch Big Bang?
Have you never watched
He's
Star
on
Trek?
Big Bang Theory now.
Stand By
His
Me,
claim
all
to
his movies.
fame was Wesley
Flame.
Crusher on Star Trek. Yeah, I know. Claim to flame.
Fish and chips!
I can't even say fifth ship, so getting me to say, that's the limit right there.
I'm looking up
Claim
his
to fame is my
Wikipedia.
limit.
He was Wesley Crusher in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the boy genius.
He was in the movie Flubber.
He
How
was
am I
in-
supposed to remember
Yeah,
who was
he
in?
was in
You don't
Stand
know
By
about
Me. He was in a lot of
You
movies.
remember him as Wesley Crusher. He was the boy genius. All nerds wanted to be Wesley Crusher. He got all that. He got everything on that ship. Whatever.
I don't watch Star Trek. Is that gonna make me an outcast in this Star Wars community now?
Well,
I don't know
no,
anything.
I
You
watch
at
Star
least know
Trek.
who-
I don't
Well,
apologize
you ain't
for
going to
that.
be wish to live long and prosper, mate.
Do you at least know who Jake Lloyd is, good old Maurice?
Well, I will in a second once Google fires up here.
It's the kid who played Anakin Skywalker in the Phantom Menace.
Okay, yes.
The one who's been in jail and have a lot of drug problems
Yeah.
after his brief acting stint.
Yeah.
I reckon Ed Sheeran plays it.
Do you think he gets consultation from Macaulay Culkin?
Hey, Macaulay Culkin's not doing so bad these days, if you haven't
No, he's
heard.
doing really well, actually.
Yeah, no. He made his middle name Macaulay Culkin.
Wait, was that actually true?
Yeah, he
That's
actually
amazing.
put up a poll for his his followers to determine what he was going to change his middle name to, and they voted Macaulay Culkin. So his name.
I mean, it's
Macaulay.
not as good as my daughter's middle name, but it's okay. My daughter's middle name is amazing. Is amazing.
What is it?
Now,
It's Hurricane. It's
Oh,
Hurricane.
Now, if you're asking for which celebrity I hope is playing Galaxy of Heroes, I'm going to say Jessica Alba, and I'm willing to do a mod review for her.
Yeah, mine would be Olivia Munn. So,
Full mod review.
Yeah.
I will help you.
yes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Fame
That's
talk.
right.
Have your people call my people. We'll work it out.
Hey, good old Maurice. Where have you been? Are you
Do you
old
know
man
who
Wrinkle?
Olivia Munn and Jessica Alba are, good old Maurice?
Oh,
Yes,
Olivia
yes, I
Munn.
do. I have posters up in my room.
Oh, man, I watched Sin City the other day. I know
Great
Jessica Alba
movie.
is.
Yes. Oh God.
Warrior's just sitting back. He's like, yeah, I know who all these people are. I got their phone numbers.
They buy mattresses for me.
Warrior,
They're
which
hanging out with me
celebrity,
right now.
which celebrity would you wish is playing Galaxy of Heroes just to make your impression of them better?
To be honest, I don't think any of them have the time to play a game, but a mobile game anyway. Maybe they'll take the time to play an Xbox game, but I don't think playing the game would change my impression of them at all. I think it would be cool, and I don't know. It'd be cool to have Arnold Schwarzenegger be like, "I watch Arnold. He's so funny."
What do you mean I have no energy? Have you a game? I like this Lord Vader. He reminds me of my role as the Terminator. I'll stop an organism. Grievous!
Those may be that. I would say those may be my favorite YouTube videos if those happened. It's Arnold T101 makes a video, and then Schwarzenegger makes a YouTube video commenting on Arnold's video. I think those would be my favorite videos ever on YouTube. All right. Next question from Hellenix. What will you all be doing at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday? And if you didn't answer, watching the Angel SWGOH stream on Operation Metaverse, please explain yourself.
There's an Angel stream on Operation Metaverse?
I didn't know about that.
How come I wasn't invited?
Girl Maurice is on a roll today.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
That'd
next
be awesome.
weekend on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, they're planning on doing an Angel stream. And so they'll be covering all kinds of fun stuff for you guys. Make sure that you are joining for that. Mark it on your calendar.
Yeah, support that.
If you guys haven't, we're hoping that Dana is going to be discussing her typical weapons talk, because those are always fun to listen to. And I'm sure, of course, T-Money hosting stuff, is going to be a blast.
God.
So make sure you do mark it on your calendar that 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday. Hop on the Operation Metaverse channel so you guys can listen to the Angels stream.
The one you guys did on RSG, have you done 2 of them?
Yeah, we've done a couple
Yes,
of them.
we've done 2.
I missed the second, but the one I saw, I guess it was the original one. That was a really, really good stream. Lots of good game knowledge, lots of just good info. It's a really, really good one.
The ladies have a lot of info.
Oh yeah, that's why we've been always encouraging them to just be streaming more, be out there more, sharing what they know. Because you look at someone like Jedi Dasha. When it comes to Jedi, she's ridiculous, but she knows the game even ridiculously too. So you want to encourage that kind of participation, and we need to show the ladies some love and support them. So please check that out.
All right, and then last question from Hellenix to you, Ranger.
Uh-oh.
Did you notice that I didn't shamelessly
Oh, don't even read the rest of it. No,
Oops,
don't
hey,
even
I
know.
did it.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God,
I tried.
God.
Hashtag shameless self-promotion.
Jesus, God.
It was at the very end. All right, we do have one last question that came in that I think is relevant. From Acheron. Question for the panel: what is your Super Bowl team?
Oh, it's not one of these 2 teams, but I'm hoping the Rams.
Well, who would you pick? What is everyone's pick? We can go around the corn here.
I'm a diehard Tom Brady hater because I grew up as a Miami Dolphins fan, so go Rams.
You talking about the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
No, next year,
Well, next year it's going to be the Browns, right? So, but this year
It's not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick.
Hey.
They're really up and coming.
They're not that up and coming. Not next year, but of course I want to see the Rams win, but it's unfortunately Patriots are going to prevail like they always do, unless your name is Eli Manning.
Does that mean they're going to prevent Brady from having the 6th gem in his gauntlet of power?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the goal.
Hey, watch out for my Tampa Bay Bucks next year, you guys.
No, I'm not going to watch out for them.
That's more hilarious than my Browns.
Yeah.
I hope the Rams win, though, for sure. Tom Brady, they've had their time, and the Rams are a great team, too. So
The Rams have got a schoolboy quarterback, haven't they?
Yeah,
He's only
Jared Goff is very
23,
young, and so is their
22,
coach.
23,
Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I mean, I won't profess to be very knowledgeable at all of NFL, but I saw the highlights of that and thinking, wow, you've got to be pleased if you follow that team, because the potential there is going to be stratospheric, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of potential down the road. They got some good run game too, for sure.
I mean, I'm with Felix. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I hate Tom Brady. But if I have to pick, damn it, I hate doing it, but it's stupid to bet against the Patriots, so I'm going with the
It really
Patriots.
is hard, man.
Later.
I went to the University of South
hate
Carolina,
him.
so I absolutely despise Todd Gurley, right? Because he went to Georgia, so
No.
I'm going with the Patriots.
Actually, I'll make that my reason too, because I'm a Gator, so there you go.
Yeah, Todd Gurley sucks. Just,
Yeah, he sucks so bad. He's like the best running back.
I know, I'm kidding.
Dude, that guy's a.
Isn't it amazing how people hate the greatest players just because they're on the other teams?
I
Yes.
know.
I mean, trust me, I'm
Hey.
guilty of it too. I absolutely hate Mike Trout because he's on the damn Angels.
I love
Hey, I'm
watching.
telling
like,
you, watch out for them Bucks next year. We got a new head coach.
No, the Bucks are going to be
You got another new
garbage.
head coach. You got
Stop
another
it.
We're gonna be good, man. I'm telling
Rondé Barber's going to come out of retirement.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
you.
right.
And Iron Man.
Yep. You
Mike
got another head coach
Allstott's
and a
going to
quarterback
come.
that
Yeah,
can't-
here comes Mike
can't-
Allstott again.
You know, if I held a bag of cocaine out my window, Jameis Winston would come all the way
He is from Florida State, so that's
Be the most accurate pass he ever threw to knock that out of your hand.
All right, Warrior, what is your pick for the Super Bowl?
Oh,
Oh my God, Felix.
Warrior,
Sorry, what's up?
what's your pick for the Super
I
Bowl?
just stepped away for a second.
no. Warrior two
I
down.
just step away for a second. It'll be the Rams.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Good man.
I have two.
Yes.
I have two favorite teams: the Broncos and whoever plays the Patriots.
I knew Warrior was a smart man.
I'm not showing any love to the Patriots, but I just can't root against them. If I have to put like money on it,
Well, we're not putting money. I mean, I'm not going to have enough money to bet the Super Bowl, but I just want Tom
Oh, in
Brady.
that case, I hope the Patriots are injured so much they don't even make the field. Just give it
Yeah.
up. beforehand.
Oh,
Like
you
that-
don't want to wish harm on people, Finley.
No,
Come
no.
on.
Well, I'm not my money in
I-
arm.
I don't care.
I wish one of my favorite games I ever saw was when the Bengals broke his leg like 7 years ago. I mean,
It's sad, but I can't. I can't deny that I had the same thought. And I hate the fact that Bledsoe was hurt. I regret to this day that Bledsoe got injured and brought Tom Brady onto the field.
I'd rather Tom Brady had played my favorite game of baseball and keep his golden arm away from my Miami Dolphins.
Listen, golden life. Just keep his whole golden life away from everything.
No, I remember like I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. They were down. The Patriots were down here in Tampa, training with the Bucks and everything, and Brady had gotten scuffed up or whatever in the practice scrimmage and everything, and there was like this big back and forth about how they were trying to hurt Brady and everything, and it was just funny, man. He's just soft.
All right.
And let everyone remember he lost his hair and he got a hair transplant from his wife.
Oh, my God. All right, next question, Finn.
That's it. That's the last one.
All right, now we're going to let everybody pimp their stuff. We're going to always start with work because he's always usually going to work because he's a workaholic. Got to sell them mattresses and make that money. Warrior,
Make that cheddar.
Make that cheddar, yo. Warrior, where can folks check you out, G?
Obviously, YouTube Warrior Presents, as well as Warriors Roster Reviews. And then I'm on Twitter at Warrior Presents. If you are interested in having more of a daily update on my free-to-play alt account that I've been running my 5-pillar system on, I do a lot of like picture updates, sometimes 2-3 times a day, sometimes once a day. So you can interact with me quite a bit there. Also on Reddit a bit and a lot on the Facebook page. So check me out all those places.
There you go. All right, next up, Mike, you're part of the RC crew, but you have your own channel. Why don't you pimp that stuff?
Yeah, I've had quite a few views recently. I had a Grand Arena battle where I was chasing down a score and I lost by 1 point, and that's had tons and tons of views, and I'm stoked about that. I've also put up one recent one from I've had an alt account for quite a while, and I'm just kind of going back and showing you where he is and what he's doing. Pop on by, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Good old Maurice, tell us what you don't know to the fans.
I'm good on Maurice. I'm half of Operation Metaverse. The other half is T-Money.
Yeah, where was she today?
Tuesday nights, 9:30. And also, this is not no one sent me a message with this. The Angels of SWGOH are hosting a stream next Saturday in support of RSG's fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. Angels from across the galaxy will gather to raise money for a great cause, share their Rev encounters, talk weapons lore. That's pretty cool. And more on the Operation Metaverse channel on February 9th at 9:30 p.m. EST. That is 8:30 p.m. CST. So, yes, next Saturday. I didn't know about it. I didn't know the date until this afternoon. Well, this is a new development. You got this is. I'm not an angel. You know, I'm not getting those.
Concerned about you coming up with a new time zone all on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably blew that one too. But been put on the spot here today. But yeah, just do check that out. Like I mentioned earlier, the past ones have been great. So I'd imagine this one would be the exact same. Helping RSG here raise money for their cause, which has been a great, fun experience for everyone involved. So do watch that and do try to check our streams out there. They have a little bit of information about the game sometimes. So those are Tuesdays at 9:30.
There you go. And last but not least, Xylo.
Yeah, check me out on YouTube, Takedown Games. Been cleaning up the channel a little bit too. A lot of my subscribers too, the RSG viewers too. So thank you guys for all your support. All the guys on the panel too for all your support too. Doing some cleaning up too on the Discord. Discord's tagged on my YouTube channel too as well. So if you want to come join the Discord, come down. And yeah, man, I really appreciate all your guys' support again, and I can't wait for the next Jedi Academy with you guys.
Absolutely. And King Felix, anything you want to shout out, homie?
Shout out Mighty Chlorians. Also shout out to Graham Old Maurice. He remembered who his co-host is on Operation Metaverse. That's always a good thing to remember, though, GOM.
I'm confused.
Are you calling him Grand Old
It
Maurice?
has been. I've been letting it fly. I don't want to call him that.
I've been listening to that. I'm like, wait, did I?
Did I say Grand Old Maurice?
You've been saying Grand Old Maurice.
I got a promotion.
He meant Grandpa.
You ain't just good. You grand.
Oh, Maurice.
He's getting into his older years. He's went from good to grand.
Grandpa Old Maurice.
Struggling in the yard this morning like I did. Yeah, you definitely called me Grandpa. Yeah, but
Oh my god! All right, Finn, close us out because I know you want to talk about the ACS stuff.
All right. So once again, Angel stream next Saturday in support of the American Cancer Society fundraiser that we are doing on RSG. We had great support from pretty much everyone here at this point. They've helped us. We've done Jedi Academy on the streams that we do. We did a 12-hour stream back in December, and we are doing another one on the 16th of February. So mark that on your calendar. So February 9th is the Angel stream on the Operation Metaverse channel, and then on the RSG channel, February 16th, a 12-hour live stream on Saturday. So please help support for the American Cancer Society. We'll have a video that we'll be playing here shortly that'll show you some of the stuff that we have available to everyone. So you guys can donate, including something additional from good old Maurice's last appearance on Jedi Academy on the 12-hour stream. So make sure you guys are watching that video. That's coming up here shortly. All the links are going to be in the description, and you can always go to our website, www.realityscootgamers.com, and get all the information about all of that. We do a stream on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's our Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream that we talk about the news and notes and just go through and give you our opinions on everything. Make sure you do subscribe and hit the bell so you get a notification. Whenever we start a stream, we'll sometimes start a random stream like we did with when the Road Ahead was dropped if there's something big that's dropping. So hit that bell so you can hopefully get the notifications. I know YouTube has had some issues lately, but hopefully it'll give you at least something so you know that we put out a video. We will not have Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. Normally it's at 5 p.m. Eastern time, but due to the Super Bowl, as we were just discussing, no Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. But other than that, thank you all for watching, and we will end with the video that will show you some of the stuff available on Tiltify for you guys to donate to.
I've been fighting cancer. It's life-changing. Cancer has scarred me physically, emotionally, internally.
That is Sith Lord Stu, one of the original members of Reality Skewed Gamers. Unfortunately, Sith Lord Stu was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. He has been treated for it, but the struggles from after cancer still remain. Reality Skewed Gamers is teaming up with American Cancer Society this year for our charity fundraiser for 2019. We now have a great campaign started and a bunch of different things that everyone can donate to and get some fun rewards out of. Here are some of them that are available. Want a simple way to support the American Cancer Society this year? Well, just head to the Tiltify reward page and purchase this wristband. This wristband is going to commemorate the Stu Strong campaign that RSG and the American Cancer Society are putting on this year, and your donation will go to the American Cancer Society. In return, we will mail you a Stu Strong wristband so you can show your support for the American Cancer Society. So what are you waiting for? Get this wristband now. There is a limited supply, so make sure that you get yours today. With the purchase of the Good Ol' Maurice reward, you will get a video showing all of the dances that Good Ol' Maurice did on Jedi Academy with commentary about what he was thinking at the time he was doing it. Plus, there will be one additional bonus dance that you can vote for on Tiltify as well. All you have to do is go to the poll section and determine whether or not you want to vote for Good Ol' Maurice doing the Harlem Shake, the Truffle Shuffle, or the Dougie. Have you seen all those professional videos and podcasts made by Nukin? Well, Nukin has a great surprise for you. Head to the challenges section of the Tiltify page and you will see that Nukin is willing to give away a Blue Yeti mic or another microphone for you for anyone that donates to that challenge. As soon as that challenge is filled, the drawing will be held to anyone that had donated it. So are you interested in a Blue Yeti mic, a Blue Nano mic, or a Lola headphone? Just head to the Tiltify challenge page and donate now. Ever wanted to see Finity from Reality Skewed Gamers wearing glitter and rhinestones with the silver and white wig? Well, now is your chance. All you have to do is donate to the challenge on the Tiltify page. But this isn't just for the American Cancer Society, it's also for the children.
Kyrie, do you have a message for the RSG listeners?
Yes. Please donate to Finn so I can see him with his silver wig with sparkles and rhinestones and play Kelpo Cats and dress up his porgs.
And how will you feel if you get to see him like this?
Really happy.
Really, really happy?
Yeah.
So, what should everybody do?
Donate to Finn.
So please visit the links that you see on the screen or are in the description of the YouTube video to donate and help the American Cancer Society and the RSG charity campaign for 2019 this year.